I am resident of Color with the YouTube Jewel States. That is my buddy Patrick McCray and my buddy Alan Gallant. We're here to continue our James Bond movie review with License to Kill. This is directed by John Glenn, written by Michael G. Wilson and Richard Nabel, by James Bond by Ian Fleming, produced by Albert R. Broccoli and Michael G. Wilson, starring Timothy Dalton. So this will be his last outing as Bond. Carrie Lowell, Robert Davi, and Anthony Zerbe is here.
Benicio del Toro?
As a 21-year-old.
Yep. And you're leaving out the most important cast member of all, as Professor Joe Butcher.
That's right.
Wayne Newton. Couldn't make this movie without Wayne Newton.
Wayne Newton as himself with a different name.
Let your post-structuralists handle that.
Well, no, my favorite scene is with one of my favorite scenes is with Wayne Newton in this movie when the woman steals the money back and he's like, "Bless your heart."
Bless your heart.
Yeah. What's he gonna do? What's he gonna do? Who's he gonna go to? He's been a go-between for this drug mob. He's not going to report her to the police.
He's the least threatening son of a bitch in the movie.
Yes.
Who, Wayne Newton?
Yes.
That's just you don't know where to look.
That's right.
But you know what? He's a lot of fun in this movie. For as little as he's in this movie, because most of it's on TV. Mm-hmm. For as little as he's in this movie, he's a lot of fun.
He is young, dumb, and full of Donkashane. Written by Steve Allen.
Yes, God knows.
It was.
I know.
So, guys, this is obviously Timothy Dalton's last outing as Bond before we get to
second and last. Yes.
What did you guys think as Timothy Dalton as Bond, and when did you guys see License to Kill?
I saw License to Kill probably a few months after it opened in a second-run theater, small second-run theater. So it was probably 90 maybe when I saw it.
Well, it's summer of '89.
Yeah, so I think I saw it in 90 at a second run theater somewhere in between Bangor and Belfast. There were several of them. I know there was one in Belfast for sure. So my memory again is hazy during these years because I was using pretty heavily. But I do remember that I saw it fairly close to its inception, so to speak. And I like Timothy Dalton an awful lot, actually. I thought he made a great Bond. He was dark and sarcastic at the same time. This movie is different from most of the Bond movies, not all of them, but it's different from most of them. Is that he takes this woman seriously. He dives into a pool for her at the end of the movie, and prostrates himself in chlorinated water.
Yeah.
For her. So that's an interesting twist from most of the Bond films. Not all of them, but from most of them. Obviously, we have Lazenby, who actually marries the woman he loves, but it ends tragically.
There you go.
This one does not end tragically. This one ends with some modicum of hope, and I always separated this like, okay, the next Bond is, the new Bond is actually a different person altogether.
It is. It's a separate continuity.
Yeah. He's just taken over the name and the number. And
do you really even give it that much continuity?
I don't always. No.
I don't.
I give it continuity with each individual who's playing Bond.
That's where my continuity comes in. I feel like I'm just watching, a multiverse, parallel time, whatever.
Yeah.
So, I don't, because here's the trick. Imagine Roger Moore fighting Red Grant. You can't.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
You just can't do it.
No.
So that solves that one right there.
Well, and also we've got so many different sidekick good guys. You know, Hedison is now in the role in this
He's back. He's back and live
again.
and let die.
Yeah, yeah, and he takes hell for it, but he comes out on the other side. You know.
We forget that in Living Daylights, there was a profoundly forgettable Felix Leiter.
Oh yes.
I mean, I've seen the movie a dozen times.
Yes.
Every single time, Felix Leiter's in this.
Yeah, but you just generic. He's a black, he's black and white, and he costs $1 a pack.
Yeah, yeah,
generic.
He's yeah. To say the least, which is about the most that can be said for him. Yeah.
So, where did you see it first? Did you get it first run?
Your statement there really makes me think something. I think that when this movie was in first run, either the Trilateral Commission or the Club of Rome or Bohemian Grove Society or whoever, the Publishers Clearinghouse, whoever runs the world, we're actually having like meetings and buffets and things like that during the so-called showings, first run showings of License to Kill. I don't know anyone who saw this movie first run. So I don't think it had a first run.
The cabal put a kibosh on it.
They just somehow knew that people weren't really going to see it, and so they booked it. They booked those theaters secretly for orgies or whatever. So I saw it second run, and whatever that means. I saw it in Hollywood at the Egyptian, in one of the smaller side theaters of the Egyptian, which ironically was the same theater I saw Die Hard in.
Yeah,
in LA a few years before. So and I liked it. I liked this movie a lot.
cool.
It nonetheless defies blockbusterdom.
Mm-hmm.
It is, I think maybe it's Latin American setting or something like that. Miami Vice-like trappings. It has a real TV movie feel to it.
It's because of the Florida thing, I think. I think it really is. Because at this point in TV history, Florida was big location. It was huge.
Yeah, there's also just something particularly, I don't want to say amateurish, but we'll just say straightforward about John Glenn's direction and the cinematography in this movie. It has, I think, probably one of the narrowest apertures I've ever seen. Everything's in focus. Everything's crisp. You cut to another thing. It's just because it has to happen here.
Huge depth of field.
Yeah. There's no nuance in this movie. It's not a very beautiful movie to look at. It's not.
No, it's as a matter of fact, the car chase is actually a tractor trailer truck chase.
Exactly. So
it's huge. Everything's big.
By the way, I just want to say this is an example of what I could do, Hollywood. Hold on, that's locked. Later. Can I do that later? Okay. Thanks. Hi. So anyway, having said that, I doubt that I did. The thing here is I came with a great joke for the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And it would have been appropriate, it would have been good. I'm surprised someone didn't come up with it. And it's when Bond orders Q. He said, he's gotten done almost, raping Carrie Lowell to get information out of her in an unnecessarily sexualized scene.
It's like it doesn't belong in the film. Everything
else
is completely different from that. That's a total non sequitur, and it's kind of weird. And I kind of just disowned it as soon as it happened.
A very funny line in Oleana where in the middle of one of her rants, John says, "I'm not your father." and it's a very funny line. Mm-hmm. And in this one, I just Carrie Lowell say, "Mom, I'm not your mother. Okay, really? Get off me. Stop it."
Yeah.
And Q is not hiding behind the heiress. Anyway, but right after that, Q, boy, I've really gone far afield here. Q he's goes up to Q and he says, get the rolls. Because before he just told Q to go away. Now he's telling Q to stay. Yeah, anyway, so if I had done that, it would have cut to Bond getting into the rolls, but it would have had him walking up to the car. he sees Q is in the back seat sitting, reading a copy of the Financial Times, and there's a chauffeur hat in the front seat for Bond. It's like, you're going to order me around. F you, I outrank you at MI6. Thank you.
But not in the field.
I got a letter. You got numbers.
Yeah.
So anyway,
I got a capital letter.
This was, I think the reason why, one of the many reasons why this wasn't a huge success is that while Living Daylights was good, it was an abstract film that, other than coming to see Timothy Dalton, there was not a lot of sex appeal to get people into the theater. Bond wasn't going into space. He didn't have an underwater car.
He did reintroduce the
DB7.
Yeah, I mean,
Aston Martin.
Yes,
Yeah.
Aston Martin shows up in that film again
Yeah,
after a while. I mean, it's been a while since we've seen it. Several movies, at least. I mean,
oh my God,
Moore didn't have any interest in driving that car.
I don't think we have seen an Aston Martin. My hand to God, I don't think we've seen an Aston Martin in one of those movies since the Lazenby movie.
Yeah, 68, 69.
Anyway, but there was another problem with this movie, and that's when it was released, because it was dumped into, I would say, Hollywood's last big summer.
Mm.
This was the summer of '89.
Right.
It was the summer that began. I mean,
we had what? We had Batman.
We had Batman. We had Ghostbusters 2. We had Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
Right.
We had Star Trek 5. We had all of these things happening at once. And poor James Bond shows up with his lunchbox, at the end of the school bus, because I think it might have been a late June, maybe even mid-July release. Mm-hmm. It's one of those releases where you start to get the feeling that they know.
Yeah.
And you want to say,
plus people had to choose between, like you say, 5, 6 movies.
That's right. And you want to say to Hollywood, it's like, well, if you don't want it to do the kind of money that a movie that gets released in mid-July makes, maybe release it at the beginning of June.
Mm-hmm.
Because the big movies, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade is always going to make money.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if it doesn't have 4th of July. It doesn't matter if it doesn't have Labor Day. It's still going to make a lot of money.
The franchise is on fire at that.
Yeah. Well, this was a situation where it was so bad special effects-wise for other filmmakers that Shatner was ordered by Paramount to go find somebody on his own. What?
Just everybody else was busy, is what you're saying, right?
ILM was totally booked up between Ghostbusters 2 and Last Crusade.
Yeah.
No.
Well, to you guys' point, Batman came out in June. License to Kill comes out in July 14th.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Before that, July 7th, Lethal Weapon 2. Before that, July 5th, Weekend at Bernie's. After this, at the same time License to Kill comes out, Disney re-releases Peter Pan in the theaters.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. When Harry Met Sally comes out on the 21st. Let's see. Friday the 13th, Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan comes on the 28th. Parenthood. The Abyss comes out on, that's not July. Yeah, that's July, sorry. Comes out on the 9th. But A Nightmare on Elm Street Dream Child comes out on the 11th of August. Young Frankenstein comes out August. So, Uncle Buck comes out August, which is hilariously funny. So there's a lot of things, like the release dates for this are somewhat not any more weird than the other James Bonds, but June 13th, 1989, London. Okay, July 10th, 1989, United States. So in London in June, it is kind of competing with Batman in a sense. July 14th, 1980, July 4th, 1989, United States, July 10th, 1989, United Kingdom, June 13th, 1989, London. So it had its release dates are all in July except for London, which is in June. So its budget was 32 million. Now its box office is 156.1 million. So there is that.
Which, I mean, it didn't drop dead, but probably significantly less than it would have made if it weren't in such heavy competition with these other hotter franchises or
Oh yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I th- I see this movie a little like probably differently than most because I always feel like yes, this is a revenge movie in every way, shape, and form.
The
But
revenge is definitely the peak, and that's why M's screaming at him about keep your head and all of that sort of thing. But
yeah,
absolutely,
yeah, yeah. But I also feel like when you watch the beginning of this movie, that when Felix Leiter's talking to his wife, and his wife throws the thing that she pulled off the leg at him,
Right.
and she goes, "What did I say wrong?" And he goes, "He was married once, and he lost her a long time ago." So, and when you hear that, and by the end of this movie, you see the full sequence, it explains why Bond sort of throws himself at this girl. Because it's like, okay, I've avenged my friends in every way, shape, and form. I lost the woman I loved a fucking time ago. Why not throw myself in?
Yes.
And it's
uh,
like, I
yeah.
understand.
Della was played by Priscilla Barnes, fresh off her run on Three's Company.
Mhm.
So she was playing I mean, it was kind of a thankless role, but she was playing a more tragic figure for sure.
I don't know if Jenna Lee Harrison would
No,
have generated the same pathos, but I'd love to see her try.
Yeah, no, I don't think
Can
so.
you imagine?
However, if it would have been the perfect wedding is if he finally makes it back and I'm ready, I've flown in on my parachute and here let's you may now kiss the bride, and they flip the thing up and it's Anthony Zerbe, of
Is
course.
it okay? I had the quip of the night, but of course me, was to a friend of mine. I texted him while I was watching this thing, and I said, between the Star Trek franchise and the James Bond franchise, Anthony Zerbe's head just can't get a break.
Yeah. Yeah, the way they dispatched him was a little insane, but
Yeah, Jewel, do you remember that from Star Trek Insurrection?
No, no, I haven't seen Insurrection in a long time.
Well, in that movie, he gets his head split open in a head splitting open device. The only way I can describe it.
Well, does
It's
it?
interesting. Here's the inside scoop on Star Trek Insurrection that some people never noticed. It's a bad movie.
well, I noticed.
It's I'm glad someone did.
I mean, I
Oh,
just kind of shrugged and went, "Well, it's Star Trek. I still, I'll still watch it." But yeah,
sure.
it's not it's not up
You
to
like pizza
standard.
that way,
Yes, exactly. You
or
eat the cardboard kind once in a while because it's just pizza. That's all.
or Taco Bell,
Yeah.
which is all the same 8 ingredients, just combined in
Yes, yes.
different shapes and
Right.
formats. It's amazing.
Just give me the sour cream, damn it.
Yeah, that's all I want. Nobody gets hurt.
Well, I would say with this movie, like his head exploding in this movie, the villain in this movie is psychotic. I
Oh
mean,
yeah,
Oh my God,
completely.
yeah.
he's the total stereotype of like the Colombian drug lord or something,
Yeah.
that Latin American drug lord with his own army, which is that makes him a cartel. Uh,
Mhm.
and so yeah, absolutely. And Robert Davi's great. I mean,
He's
Yeah.
very good.
he's
Yeah.
he's in his like mid 30s when he
Yeah.
did this role, and he has more gravitas than a guy in his mid 30s.
And absolutely nothing Latin American about him.
Yeah,
Nothing. I think if you talk to he's from New York, he's just a
Yeah.
guy. Maybe he had a Puerto Rican great grandmother at some point, but
maybe.
that was it. I mean, he's not what you expect.
But like the comment I told you, he has the Scarface cragginess of
Oh
not
wow.
not seen since what was it? Who was it that I had mentioned?
I don't remember.
classic guy. Hold on a second here. Let me.
I know that if there were a makeout scene between him and Edward James Olmos, each other's faces on fire.
And then you make it a menage a trois with Richard Lynch. That's who.
Oh my God, yeah, yeah, or even Cameron Diaz, who's got anyway.
Yeah, but
nice lady, but she's got some rougher skin than people know. Doesn't like to
because she hides it very well.
By not appearing in movies anymore.
Well,
what happened to her?
She decided not to make movies. From what I understand,
for her.
She decided not to do it. Now she may do it again, but she kind of decided to step back away from it.
All right, well, good for her. Maybe she and Uranus are hanging out somewhere.
Well, he's returning for Spaceballs too.
That's right.
But
that's going to be his first one.
Yeah,
I think he probably got that. The thing that probably pulled him in, besides the huge paycheck,
his kids.
Well, his kids, I think, are adults now.
Okay.
So, I don't think that would have been it, because I think he quit in the 90s and he had young children then. So I don't think unless he's had a second batch of kids.
So what is it that pulled him back in?
I think it's probably the producer writer. And,
probably his last movie.
Well, it probably is, and I think I don't think anybody needed much convincing. To do it again.
Who else is in it? Do we know?
No, I don't. Yeah, I mean, what's his name's in it? Why am I having trouble with names tonight? It must be because I'm 65 years old. Let's see now. But our audience needs to know who I'm talking about.
If I were to make Spaceballs a sequel, I would make it. It would be almost an anthology. It'd be in three. I'm serious about this. 90-minute movie, because I like 90-minute movies. 3 different parts, half hour each, but each half hour would be one of the prequel movies, and then I would make a second one, and each half hour would be one of the sequel movies. So you would just with this interminably long, middle chapter.
Yeah.
That would be the original Spaceballs. So
and each chapter will be introduced by Mel Brooks in Rod Serling drag.
Speaking of drag, I assume I was so tired I don't really remember doing the Living Daylights podcast, but I was really.
You saw
tired.
The proof of it, though, right?
I know I haven't had the nerve.
No, you haven't seen it. Well, there's video proof.
But thank God. But what I was going to say is Spaceballs was another movie that summer.
Yes.
So did we talk about the other movies going on in 1987?
We didn't really go into a lot of detail about that. No.
Well,
we had done so early for earlier movies for sure, because for the 81, 82, 83 segments.
And then the bizarre section of 1987 where you had Superman 4 coming out and Masters of the Universe coming out, and
was that the one that was called The Quest for Peace?
The Quest for Peace, yeah, a terrible movie.
Quest for a piece of poop. Unfortunately, it was a terrible movie, but
and Mariel Hemingway in it, who I love.
Yeah.
And Sam Wanamaker taking a break from building the Old Globe Theater.
Yeah. Probably to cash the check to finish.
I'm sure Superman 4 paid for part of that theater.
Yeah.
I do like how in this movie Timothy Dalton's James Bond plays to the paranoia of the book, because he makes him very paranoid, kills off his associates one by one, turns them against each other, and it's a very good movie. And this movie uses sharks and makes them a lot more scarier than any of the next 2 Jaws sequels did.
Oh wow!
Really, really well. Which I do think they use the same underwater device that they use in Jaws 4, I believe. The little submarine.
Jaws 4 came out within a few weeks of this movie, I think.
Yeah.
Or was that 87? Was that 89 or 87?
Which one was The Revenge?
Oh,
that was The Quest for Peace. No, that was Jaws 4.
Jurassic Park.
That Roger Ebert had I think maybe his greatest quote ever, which was about that movie. He said, "What shark would not want revenge on the widow of the man who killed it?"
87, guys. 87.
Okay.
87.
So for us, 87. Got it.
But yeah.
Because that's the premise of the movie.
Have you seen here's a question for you. Have you seen both versions of the movie?
There's another one?
There's two versions of it.
Oh no.
Oh, Christ. What's the other one like?
Okay, so the first version,
Jesus.
the first version you know about. The second version is a televised version where there's an opening narration where it gets into fade, which is just stupid.
Who's doing the narration? I must know.
I don't know, but there is a voice narration. You know how like the camera's
probably James Whitmore or something like that.
You know how the camera comes up from the water and it's going across the water? But when the camera's coming across the water, you hear the narration.
Oh God!
Where in the regular version, there's no narrator and the ending's different, and like the endings are different for both movies, obviously. So.
One they deemed fit for television, and the other they did not.
I just can't. I can't fathom an oceanic movie like that. Fathom. I was out of my league. I can't.
20,000 leagues.
That's right. 20,000 bottles under the contract. I can't imagine them bothering to make a separate cut of Jaws: The Revenge. That to me is the quintessence of optimism. Guys, we can save it. We just need a different cut for the TV version. If I had been the head of Universal, I just would. Oh God, you poor man. What did someone do to you? Or Tom Pollock? I just go. Oh God, we got to get you some help. You know, we've got psychotherapy services on our health insurance. There's help out there.
We have psycho services.
I just want to know how much they paid Michael Caine for the reshot of it.
Did they?
He said it bought him a house.
Yeah, he was very happy with that house.
Yeah, no wonder. So, production shortly after The Living Daylights was released, producer Albert R. Broccoli and writers Michael G. Wilson and Richard Maibaum started discussing the sequel. The film would retain a realistic style as well as showing the darker edge of the Bond character. It did just that. For the primary location, the producers wanted a place the series had not yet visited. China was visited after an invitation by the government, but the idea fell through partly because of the 1987 film The Last Emperor had removed some of the novelty of filming in China. By this stage, the writers had already talked about a chase sequence along the Great Wall, as well as a fight scene amongst the Terracotta Army. Wilson also wrote two plot outlines about a drug lord in the Golden Triangle. So they wanted sort of a Chinese triad.
Right. So they settled for the Hong Kong Secret Service.
Yes, they did do that. They
did do that.
Yeah, they did keep that actually. So that was kind of written in there. That's why they're here in this movie, in a sense, but it's not set and filmed in China, obviously. But they did do a good job with I love the locations of this movie. It's really fun, and the fact that you get a drug lord storyline in a James Bond movie is the most '80s thing ever. But
again, it is. It's ripped right out of Miami Vice in terms of the circumstance, the context.
Yeah.
I've only seen a couple episodes of that series. So.
It's all about drugs and organized crime in South Florida. So yeah.
The writers eventually decided on the setting in a tropical country, while Broccoli negotiated to film in Mexico at the Estudios Churubusco in Mexico City. In 1985, the Films Act was passed, removing the EV levy Making movies, sir. Uh, Resulting in foreign artists being taxed more heavily. Of the associated rising costs to productions meant no part of licensed skill was filmed in the UK. First Bond film not to do so at Pinewood Studios, used in every previous Bond. So Pinewood Studios is on.
Jewel, your dedication to history
Yeah,
is admirable. No, it really is.
I true. I true. But
The
guys,
Mexico actually has a really good history of they have a lot of really good movie studios.
The chief of which I think they shot some here. Probably the temple is Churubusco, where they shot Dune, where they shot Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, of all things. There lots of American movies get shot there just because it's good studio.
Yeah.
There's a very funny line in the movie. I wish I could quote it exactly, but it's where I think Joe Butcher is taking people on a tour or something like that of the temple, and he says, and we reconstructed it all into its original glory, and it's a ruin.
Yeah. It's just
I thought that was great. It's a very subtle joke.
Yes.
But it's wonderful.
Mm-hmm. It is also the height and reflection of the hucksterism of the character.
No, that is a problem with the movie, though. I will say is that generality is the death of art, as Stanislavski said, and he's right. And I feel like there was some draft of the movie where Joe Butcher's philosophy was a lot more exact. It was like a Jay-Z Knight character, or Ramtha, or something like that, because it's just a little vague. And
it is. It's a little superficial, stereotypical. But
and
I don't think. I also, bless him, he's a very talented man. But I don't think Newton was a very talented actor when he was
most
doing
talented actor in that movie. The most talented actor in that film. No, you get Wayne. You get Wayne
with a foot on.
Now I'll tell you this. God bless it. What a hell of a movie for Desmond Llewellyn.
Yep.
They really did right by him. They gave him a lot to do, and some of it's very touching.
They had him. They put him in the field.
They did. Well, that was something I was thinking about in this film, because someone once said about Skyfall. This is a great movie. God, I love that movie. That movie could not happen without Bond screwing up every single thing that he basically goes about doing. Every assignment he's given, he messes it up somehow, and I'm sure that's intentional. In this movie owes itself to the utter contempt that M's staff has for him. They are to a man completely insubordinate.
Mm-hmm.
They do the opposite of anything he wants, from 007 down to Moneypenny, with Q in the middle. And it's like they just all it's like M had the meeting of the day, and they all just kind of hung around the water cooler after M left.
Okay, what are we really going to do?
Yeah, can you believe this? What are we actually going to do? That's this movie.
Yes, yeah, it is. It's totally this movie, because they set the tone very early on, like, we're taking your license to kill. Give me your gun. It's like this is basically saying, okay, so Bond really is more about being an independent operator most of the time than he is being on Her Majesty's Secret Service, although he certainly doesn't mind the prestige of that either. But when push comes to shove and he's PO'd and somebody has wreaked havoc in his life, he's going to choose going after them on his own if he has to.
You talk about early point of attack and late point of attack with movies, and that just depends on when in the story the plot begins.
Of course,
you could have done a late point of attack with this movie, telling it from Talisa Soto's point of view, where seemingly Bond has quit.
Right.
There was a thing, because he's always disagreeing with him. Over the bagel. And it doesn't matter. He's going to disagree with him. And he finally does quit, because he's tried to quit 8 or 9 times. and Moneypenny messes up a memo or something, and it doesn't work. And that as the movie goes on, we start to get, maybe not through flashback, but it could be, more and more of these weird revelations. Like Q is helping him out. What's Q doing over there? And it's his uncle. And that would have been a really daring way to tell the movie. Very interesting. You throw the audience into the middle of the story where Bond really has, because Bond's a sociopath, and we keep thinking, well, he could quit any day and just go to work for Spectre or something and do really pretty well.
Right. Or just hire himself out privately,
Oh my God,
He
yeah.
does on several occasions.
Well, all these references to an underpaid British civil servant, I'm certain that there have been all sorts of jewels and gems and other things on the side that Bond has pocketed.
Lost out of the evidence tray.
Yeah. Never made it to the evidence tray. That the Bank of England's still waiting for that gold bar back.
Yeah.
That's I think it's
we're missing several blue covered bales of money. 007, where did they go?
Last I saw, Odd Job had it. Talk to Odd Job.
No problem. Oh no. Those went over the side with all those loose bills. Don't worry about it.
Did you see the explosion at the end of that thing? Who knows what went up in there? Could have been Rosebud. Could have been in that thing.
These series of explosions that went
Ark
on.
of the Covenant. Dick Clark's birth certificate. Any of that.
We blew up the entire summer blockbuster schedule in one fell swoop.
Yeah, Joel.
I do like how Bond comes up the elevator. He's like, "I need a gun," and the girl like unravels her skirt and gives him the gun. He
gives him a gun,
and because they said, "Oh, your uncle, Mr. Bond, is up in your room." They're like, "I don't have no uncle." He's going up there to shoot somebody, and he kicks in the door and knocks Q over. It's like, Q, 007. Like
that is by the way, a spectacularly terrible wig on the stuntman who gets pushed over. It is this big
because
thick
no way
white.
is Desmond going to take a fall.
It looks like he's knocked over Kenny Rogers.
Yeah. I called. It's Kenny Rogers. I thought you were in Las Vegas.
So
let me tell you, yeah, Wayne Newton in the thing anyway. It really, in all honesty, instead of Carrie Lowell, who's lovely, she's great. But if it had been Kenny Rogers, maybe as Kenny Rogers just hanging around Mexico or something, the movie wouldn't have been that different, but it would have been so much better. And I love this movie. But if this had been the one where he teams up with Kenny Rogers, forget it.
Bond and the Gambler together again for the
That's
first
right.
Oh my God. Well, he's in Mexico. Wouldn't he more see who was it? Jimmy Buffett?
Well, yeah, you probably absolutely.
Yes. So after Carrie Lowell was chosen to play in Orpheus,
You almost said Carrie Always.
Yeah. She watched many of the films in the series for inspiration. Lowell had described becoming a Bond girl as huge shoes to fill, as she did not see herself as glamour girl.
Excuse me just a second.
Even coming to audition in jeans, the leather jacket, while Lowell wore a wig for the scene set in the United States. A scene where Scorpio is given money and told by Bond to go and buy some new clothes, and going off and doing so. Also, she has
he hands her like $20,000 on a stack, and buy some clothes.
It's like that's a lot of money.
Just go buy some designer stuff. Go.
I do like in this movie too. Like he's trying to get rid of Q. He's like, "You're a good field agent. Q, get on out of here."
Yeah.
He sets it up. He's gonna like kill him. He's gonna shoot the guy, blow him up, and kill him, and then shoot him with the sniper rifle. But that's where the Chinese officers who are undercover interfere.
Yeah, the Hong Kong guys.
Hong Kong guys. Yeah, he's because they say he's a rogue agent. And yeah, he is.
He totally is.
Bond is totally a rogue agent.
It's his double cover.
Yeah.
It's true, and it's his cover.
Yeah. Yeah, and like but Bond's not like you guys have said. Bond's not the only guy going off the reservation here. So
No,
is Q, although he's on vacation. Uh,
but he's also got an entire briefcase full of stuff he's going to give to
yeah,
Bond to help him out. So
yeah. Him and Moneypenny are like, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, they
Forget
they
it.
have definitely formed their own alliance, entirely separate from what M would like to have happen. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Holy shit. So yeah, 7 Mile Bridge is in this thing. Just
yeah,
really,
I recognize that. I've been over those bridges a few times.
really beautiful.
Yeah, it is. The keys are really nice.
It was nice for them to shoot there. I mean, that is just on location in Florida. My God.
Yep,
Very, very nice.
particularly there.
Yeah.
The Keys for all the way from Largo all the way to Key West. It's really great. It's lots of fun to be had there.
The official story I think is they didn't have the money to shoot in China.
Yeah.
I think the real story was Michael Wilson comes into the office and guys, I have a thought. It was cold in Austria, and then it was bloody hot in Turkey, where we got the last thing. Florida. Florida in November.
Yep.
Huh? Huh? Am I
Perfect.
making sense? Am I
Yeah.
making sense?
Actually, back then they probably got a heck of a rake off on taxes and everything else too.
Sure. Sure. But I really wonder. It's like that great line in Real Life, which we ever talked about Real Life, the Albert Brooks movie.
I don't think so.
Oh, it's so good. In it, he's doing this reality show about an American family. He's going to film over the course of a year. And he said, well, we narrowed it down to two families, one in Arizona, one in Milwaukee. Let me ask you this. You spend the winter in Wisconsin. Yeah,
That's totally Albert Brooks' sense of humor.
yeah.
Mhm. But do you think, I think filming location does come down to, okay, do you really want to film in the cold weather or do you want to film some,
Sometimes it's a practical decision
Well,
like that.
it affects a lot of
Absolutely.
money.
Yeah,
yeah,
and sometimes like Florida saves them a ton of money over having to go overseas.
it's like,
Now
okay,
it's Atlanta.
it's okay. Like
Yes.
like today, when you watch the if you watch the two football games, it was snowing in New England, snowing in Chicago. They want to film in the snow. Okay. It
Well, I
was,
mean, if the script calls for it, you're going where it's cold.
yeah, yeah.
That's just the way it is. But when you're fashioning a James Bond script, you fashion it based on the availability of or the preferences of the crew, the producers, everybody.
Exactly. Protege.
Yep. Crudité.
What's you guys' favorite scenes in this movie?
Well, Wayne Newton, honestly. The stuff involving Felix and Della and James. I really like all of that.
It's a nice character development, and the friendship
Yeah.
is
The
strong.
I think the pre-credit sequence is has a very unique feel for a Bond movie, and I like that.
Mm-hmm.
And the Benicio del Toro in the pot grinding
Oh,
machine,
he's
which was a
oh
children's book also,
yes. Yeah.
or the coke grinding machine. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
Del Toro is already showing flashes of brilliance in this because he just completely commits to playing this.
he's
This,
quite insane.
yeah, he's insane. He's sadistic. And he's unique because it's Del Toro. So it's a lot of fun to watch him, and you just hate his guts. You just absolutely. Oh, this guy reminds me of a punk I knew in high school. Only he's like
Yeah,
100 times worse. That kind of thing. And yeah, he at 21, he was already on his way. It's amazing.
Some of my favorite scenes is the beginning of where Bond is helping Felix Leiter catch the guy. You get the betrayal of the police officer, the $2 million, the whole setup of escape. And obviously, my favorite scene is the ending. Don't you want to know why? He shows him the light and lights his ass on fire. That is fucking
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's
That
a
whole
nice touch.
sequence.
I knew that lighter because of the way he used it and because of the inscription and everything. I knew that was going to be the first time I saw the movie. I said that's going to be in the last reel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was.
It's cool too.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, it is.
uh,
It's not even a real gadget, but it plays the role of one.
yeah. Well, they show the effect early enough to let you know, hey, look at this lighter. It does this and this.
Yeah,
So
basically, it's like a blowtorch when you leave.
yeah, yeah. Scale 1 to 10, what you guys give this movie?
9. You give it a 10? Yeah, I'll give it a 10.
No, it's okay. I just happen to give it a 10
Yeah.
based on my experience with it.
I see, and the difference is I conform and do not like to think for myself.
Okay. We'll do that in the interest of friendship. We'll do that.
Okay.
Oh, my God. I'll give this movie a 13. It's really good. I enjoyed the hell out of it. So, but is there anything you guys want to add about the movie before we get?
Yeah, I really enjoyed the scene where Carrie is in the plane and she lands it and the wings go flying off and the whole nine things, and then she opens the door and steps out. Her dress is perfect and she has no sweat stains whatsoever, and her hair is also every hair is in place. It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's totally Bond, and that's when I looked at her and I said, she's a really good Bond girl. Okay. She was also really good on the early Law and Order. She was really good on that as well. So.
Yeah.
She was the assistant district attorney on there for like 4 or 5 years, but in the early part of it. So.
All right. Thank you, Patrick. Case Kirk says they booked a balance in scripted love. Thank you,
Well,
yes.
Collins Port after dark.
Collins Pot after Jack. I'm on YouTube.
When are we talking about GoldenEye, Austin Powers, and the rest?
GoldenEye, or is it just Golden One?
Collins Port after dark. It will be in the description box. GoldenEye probably tomorrow.
Okay.
Probably tomorrow.
All right, sounds good to me.
Yeah. But yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow night. Yeah, you have a good night.
I love it. Thank you, sir.
Good night. Bye.
Bye.